Hello, welcome to the Moonbeam Clinic, where we strive to help improve your sleep in a relaxing and soothing setting. Is this your first time joining us? Okay, perfect. Well, I have just a few questions to go over with you. All right, if you want to get started. Perfect. Can I get your name, please? And your birthday? Okay. And the best phone number or email to reach you? I can take both, sure. Okay. May I ask what brought you in today? Okay. And how long have you been having these sleep issues? Okay. Are you currently taking any medication for sleep? Prescription or non-prescription? And are you taking that on a daily basis? Weekly, once a week? How often? About? Okay. Have you ever tried melatonin? Okay. How many hours do you sleep on average? And how many hours did you sleep on average before you began having the sleep issues and insomnia? Okay, great. How often do you have restless sleep or wake up during the night? Mm-hmm. Do you wake up feeling rested or do you wake up generally more tired? Do you dream often? Do you remember your dreams? How often would you say? Okay. And are you having nightmares commonly? How much screen time do you usually consume a day? This could be in front of your computer or cellular device whenever you are looking at a bright screen for a long period of time. Okay. Do you have any type of nightly ritual, kind of sleep ritual? Are there certain habits that you generally have before you go to sleep, or is it more random? Okay. Are you generally a light sleeper or heavy sleeper? Light sleeper being it's easy to wake you up with noises, light, etc. And lastly, are you having any external noise issues where you live that could be contributing to your being unable to sleep as much? Right, okay. hmm Okay, thank you so much for answering those questions. It's going to help us to kind of analyze why you might be having some of the sleep issues that you mentioned and what we can do to help you improve your sleep. Okay? I'm going to give you a few basic tips that you can try to do. Before I do that, I'm going to integrate ASMR into the study now. Do you know what ASMR is? Okay. Well, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And basically, ASMR, imagine, for instance, that if you've been to your salon and you're getting your hair done, you're getting your hair shampooed and whatnot, have you ever felt very relaxed from this and almost like a tingly sensation in your head? You have. Okay, great. Well, that means that you do experience ASMR. ASMR can be triggered by many different sources or stimuli, such as someone whispering in your ear. And I do apologize for my stomach making all these noises. It can be triggered by things, different sounds, such as tapping on this clipboard, or someone brushing their hair. Okay, so there's many different what's called ASMR triggers that can potentially stimulate this ASMR sensation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present different triggers, different objects, and make some sounds with them. And I would just like you to tell me if you do experience the ASMR sensation from those triggers. Okay? Now, after I do that, we'll have you go in the overnight session where we'll apply some electrodes to your brain so that we can actually monitor what's going on in your brain during your different sleep cycles, such as the cycle of REM, right? So that's the cycle that if you wake up during it, you would remember your dreams. Now, sleep is very essential. It's very important. Our bodies and minds get much rest during sleep. It helps to regenerate our cells, every aspect of our body, helps us to function during the day. And unfortunately, a lot of people, such as yourself, are experiencing sleep issues for a multitude of reasons. It could be from stress, external issues such as noise, just life in general. Could be from taking certain medications. There are a plethora of reasons. Now, we'll get more into the nitty-gritty scientific aspect of what's happening after we do the overnight session. But for now, I'm just here to ask you these questions and do the ASMR triggers so that we can come up with a great solution and for your sleep package. Okay, so we'll find out what sounds might relax you or even trigger that tingly sensation so that moving forward you can listen to some of these sounds before you try to go to sleep. or even just during the day to help you relax, okay? So if you'd like, we can get started with that portion, okay? All right, great. So for this portion, I'm going to be putting on some gloves because I might be actually applying some of the triggers closer to your face and ears, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and take off my rings to put on the gloves. But before I do that, jewelry sounds are actually the first trigger we're going to try right now. You can go online and see these ASMR videos, and there's like I said, plethora, multitude of different triggers. So this is one of them. So I'm going to just very gently make some sounds with the rings, and we're just going to come all around you here. You can just kind of tell me after a little bit if it's a yes or no or more of a maybe. Take off the rings now so that I can put on the gloves. Some of these are stuck on real good. Like I said, there are thousands upon thousands of what can be a trigger. So pretty much any sound that is not loud or abrasive can be an ASMR trigger. Tapping, as I mentioned. But gloves themselves is a very common way to trigger someone's tingles. So before I put them on, let's do some extra sounds here. Okay. Put that around your ear. And then you get a slightly different sound just from putting the gloves on and how they sound when someone is wearing them. And these are, I should have mentioned what type. Vinyl gloves, stretch blue. Okay, so now let's do some more up close sounds here, okay? And if at any point any of these sounds upset you or trigger you in a bad way, just let me know. Another experience some people have is called misophonia, and that's having a negative reaction to certain sounds. Generally, things like mouth sounds can trigger it. So I just want to be conscious of what you personally find relaxing and whatnot. Okay? Great. Okay. How would you say you rate glove sounds? Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. Also, just so I'm aware, do you like writing sounds? Like me writing on this clipboard when I ask you questions? Okay, great. Just trying to get as much information as I can in order to create that perfect sleep package for you, right? So next I have here is a very aesthetically pleasing makeup brush. And brushing is a very popular way to stimulate relaxation or ASMR. And it can be used in a few different methods. So first what I'm going to do, if it's okay, is I'm going to come in and I'm going to brush your face. Okay? Alright. I'm going to brush your ears, okay? Good. And on this side. How is that? Okay. Next sound I'm going to try is crinkly sound. Now this type of sound you want to be very gentle with, otherwise it can be slightly abrasive. chose what I consider to be good sounding book here because it still has that crinkly like cover on it. So that's one aspect of what can make a book relaxing. The other aspect is, as you probably suspect, page flipping or turning pages. Okay. All right. Thank you. Just a little extra. Now, suit fittings are a common way to experience ASMR, just like going to a hair salon. What I'm going to do is use an element of a suit fitting, which is measuring someone, you getting measured, okay? And this kind of personal attention can be very effective. So how about we just measure your face for tonight? Okay. So I'm going to measure the width of your face. Perfect. And I'm going to measure the height of your face. Okay. I'm going to measure the distance between your eyes and your chin. Here. Like so. Good. Okay. All right. Next one I have here is few more, alright. Perfect. This one is a little more random, but there's something about the sound I quite like, so I wanted to share it with you in our session today. Okay. So, the antithesis of sleep, coffee, but actual coffee can make good sounds. And as you listen to these sounds, try to just let yourself relax, take it easy. This should help you get into a sleepier position before you enter into our clinic for the overnight stay. Good. Sound of this tin foil. It's another version of crinkles. Just something oddly soothing or satisfying, you could say. Just focus on the sounds of the coffee tin and let it completely relax you. Good. Try to focus everything out and zoom in on just the sounds. Perfect. Now as I do this, I'm going to go over some tips for you, just a few that can help you try to start getting into a better habit of sleeping. First off, don't try to go to bed if you're not completely tired. Sometimes we get into the habit of forcing ourselves to go to sleep at a certain time, but if you're not actually tired enough, you might just end up lying in bed for hours and end up losing more sleep. So you really want to be in that almost zoned out state, right? Maybe you're watching a movie or reading a book and all of a sudden you're like, where did the last 5-10 minutes go? You want to try to be in that state when you actually go to lay down in bed. So that's a big tip that I just wanted to tell you. Of course, we'll go over all this information after your overnight stay, but just thought I should mention that. go into the last segment, which is more of hand movements and repeating different trigger words, okay? Just go ahead and allow yourself to relax, 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 and to feel very, very sleepy, 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 and just drift out into wonder, wonder, wonderland. Wonder, wonder, wonderland. So I'm just going to pull away any stress from your day. I'm going to pull it away, and I want you just to imagine it disappearing, dispersing, disappearing, dispersing into the air. Take any of those toxic thoughts, and I'm just going to pull them right out. Perfect. Pull them right out. Disperse them. Just going to disappear, 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 disappear. Just going to disappear, 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 disappear. Just want to sleep, 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 sleep. Drift away, 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 away. Drift away, away. I'm just going to pull it out. Pull. Clean out. Clean out your chakras. Clean out different work. Okay, right here, but you just want to take it up. All right. So that was the last little segment there. If you can just briefly tell me what you thought of that portion. That was inaudible whispering, right? Where you can kind of barely make out what I'm saying. Okay, thank you so much for going through this process with me. As I mentioned before, I'll take you into the other part of the facility where we'll get you hooked up and get you ready for bed, okay? We have, if you, whatever big screen or a TV if you just want to put on Netflix and drift off that way. We also have headphones and listening devices if you want to listen to some ambient music, ambient sounds, or even some ASMR videos, okay? So we try to make this, like I said, a very pleasant experience here at the Moonbeam Clinic, alright? Just want to make this entire experience as pleasant as possible because it shouldn't be stressful to help you get a more peaceful